Let's recap just a little. We started off with a horse who was obliging enough to not hurt anyone, but who shook with terror at everything that was done to him. And yet it only took 8 minutes to make a breakthrough to bubbling with happiness, and under an hour for him to reach out and touch a human for the first time voluntarily. So what was her key to success? Once I'd drawn her attention to show how she was experiencing her feel with Joe, Dawn couldn't even get near the paddock without her tension rising and her breathing being restricted. So she used that physical feel, as I call it, the tension rising and the restricted breathing that she was experiencing, to know that she had to change something. At this stage of her training, that change is to stop and back away from the horse as far as she had to, for that tension to disappear and her breathing to come back to normal. So what she did was she approached, noticed the tension, stopped, backed away and waited, and she had to do that a few times before she could get to the gate feeling okay. See, if she had just waltzed into the paddock, then this tension and restricted breathing and faint anxiety that she was experiencing would have been the foundation for everything that they did that day. And every time she had ignored her feel, that tension and anxiety would have increased. Now, I doubt that your horse is anywhere near as scared as Joe, but it's the same for them. If you ignore your feel for them, and you too will have your unique version of those 5 feels inside you, then your horse will have tension and anxiety as the foundation for whatever you're doing together that day. Now she's got to the gate feeling okay, but as she gets inside the paddock, the tension and restricted breathing and anxiety starts building again, and we had to step out of the gate to release that. And again, if she had pushed through that communication, then the tension and anxiety would have increased in Joe, and it would have increased more and more each time she pushed through those signals that she was experiencing. Do you get it? It was the commitment to eliminating his fear and tension and her fear and tension right from the beginning and every step along the way. That was the cause of Dawn's miraculous 8-minute breakthrough to bubbling with happiness. There's nothing miraculous about it at all when you work with that kind of commitment. This commitment and attention to all our feelings is what makes it possible for ordinary people like you and me with a bit of practice to have beautiful things happening with our horse. Here's Dawn just brilliantly demonstrating her mental feel. Gosh, I couldn't have ordered up anyone better to demonstrate this stuff with. She's got a bit of all 5 feels that are easy for her to notice, and not everyone's like that. So here she is with her mental feel, where she just got the idea that Joe was afraid of her size, and so she sat down with Sam, and then later on Joe joined them. See, when our mental feel is too often in overwhelm with worry, then it's hard to know whether an idea is the right one or not. The best way to explain it to you is that the right idea has an expansive feeling of rightness about it. You'll know it when you feel it. It'll really make you smile. And the validation of it, of course, is the outcome, like it was here with Dawn and Joe. The next bit of footage that I pulled up for you is what I called the dance of love. And the outcome of that was that heart-opening experience of Joe reaching out to touch her. His very first experience of doing that with a human. Dawn's keys to success were from using all her feelings to be guided by what felt good, and when it didn't feel good, to change something. By this time, she was using all 5 feels in her repertoire to keep the good feelings flowing and using the previously crappy feelings for change. Again, your feel is going to be different to Dawn's. You will likely have one or more feels that are stronger than the rest, and it may take using those reliably before you start becoming aware of the other ways of feeling. Remember what I said earlier, that copying someone else's feel is a recipe for failure and for that horrible feeling of I am not enough. We here get this fact all the way to our bones and talk about actually celebrating our differences. This attitude seems to be the fastest way to support people to find their own unique feel. I hope you've enjoyed learning about what I think is the key to the kingdom of horses. Every now and again you come across a brilliant horse person who seems like they were just born to use it. But now you know that you can have it too. And if you want to feel that for yourself, one way is to come on into my website and find the next free live event where I guide people as a group and individually as well into an experience of their unique feel for their horse. I'll look forward to seeing you there.